Hello and welcome to the Penny Lane podcast. We have a great episode today with White Goodman. He was so delightful. This is the happiest episode. I hope you guys learned so much, and please stay tuned at the end of the episode to hear about a special little Valentine's Day offer from Last Bottle Wines.
The stock market is hotter than ever right now, and traders are taking advantage. But what does that mean for the people who still haven't started trading? The market can be a little intimidating at first, but you don't have to be alone in the learning experience. We at the Pennies Going in Raw podcast are here to help you. I'm Dan, and with my co-host Hugh Henney, we make the stock market a fun but informative experience for our listeners. We offer knowledge for all levels of traders, from beginners to those who do it full time. On PGIR, we discuss up-to-date news about the stock market and interview other traders who all started out just like us and made it big. You'll hear from Hugh and other multi-millionaire traders, founders and CEOs of companies, FinTwit superstars, and even professional athletes. Have you ever thought about investing your hard-earned cash but don't know where to start? Do you have money just sitting in your savings account collecting dust? We were all there once too. Listen to Pennies Going in Raw on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcast, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, White. Welcome to the Penny Lane podcast. We're so happy to have you.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thrilled. So before we started recording, I was complimenting you on your voice. It is clear and sounds really good for audio.
It sounds like nails on a chalkboard to myself, but thank you.
Yeah, it's a great voice. So you said that you used to have a podcast?
Yeah. This was probably a few years ago now. It was just a fitness podcast.
Did you stop going to the gym? What happened?
No. I still go to the gym. I actually built a gym here. I have an old barn we repurposed and I made it into like a 2,000 square foot gym. So no, I still do that. But
how's the membership?
I actually have a few clients that I train here, but no, nothing like that. No, I don't want a bunch of people I don't know here in my house.
Why? Pandemic?
Yeah, that too, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to pick up after them. I have kids of my own. I don't need to pick up other people's messes too. But but podcasts are fun. So I like that, that I'm doing this again. Haven't done one in a while. So
on our last episode with 100 to a million, I was saying that I really liked the word Vanguard. So just for the Penny Lane pod listeners, I am going to say, White, it seems like you were on the vanguard of podcasting. Is that right?
You
did it a couple years ago, then you're like a pioneer, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It wasn't financial related. There were quite a few other fitness ones.
Vanguard means, as a word, it means being on the forefront of a movement.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I mean. I wasn't like at the forefront. There were quite a few others ahead of me. So, but I drew inspiration from this one called Mind Pump, and I actually got to have one of their hosts on, so that was pretty cool.
Fantastic.
So yeah. But I guess as far as FinTwit goes, I guess I was sort of ahead of the curve on podcasts, right?
Totally.
But yeah.
Totally. So how long have you been trading and how'd you get into it?
So I started with crypto actually in 2019. So
only Justin, ding, ding, ding.
What?
Justin has been asking me and texting me daily to get somebody that knows about crypto on the podcast. So anyway, there we go. Ding, ding, ding.
Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert. I just...
Nope, you are now.
I know, right? I got in at a good time. Everything was super cheap back then. And, I liked just the big ones, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. And I didn't even know how to read a chart. I just had the line charts up, and it was market buys, market sells, but it was just swings, look at the line chart. Is it low? Buy it and then just sell it when it's high. And sometimes I think back and I'm like, man, when it's that simple, it's almost better. I feel like I made more money then than now that I know what I know,
yeah,
it's weird because now you start to overthink it or you complicate it, the more you know. So
are you out of crypto now?
No. I still trade crypto too, but I still treat them like swings. I don't really day trade it, or a lot of them are just there, and then they hit certain prices, I sell, and then I'll just set bids again for buys, and maybe it'll be weeks or months before they hit. But
All right. So Blaine, can I ask him what's going on? Am I allowed to?
Please. I mean, I can't help you. So.
I am so incredibly confused, and I'm starting to get a little angry, White, about what happened with crypto over the past 2 days.
The dump, right?
And I listened to Mike Novogratz today talk about it on CNBC, and he gave the most non-answer answer I've ever heard, and it was so frustrating. If crypto is supposed to be a debased currency that is not tied to a market, a country, another currency, and it's supposed to take the place of gold, then in days like we had yesterday and the day before, it shouldn't dump. If it does dump, it's just another tech stock. So have I been lied to this whole time? I am very angry and frustrated, and it's not like I lost that much money. I'm just like, the whole ethos behind it, I feel like is bullshit the last 3 days. I'm very, very
Somebody is very upset.
No,
What am I wrong? Am I out of line here?
I share that same sentiment, dude, because it was supposed to be like a hedge for inflation or a hedge for the market, right? It was what they said forever with Bitcoin and this and that. And now when you see the market dump, Bitcoin dumps right with it. I think what happened was a lot of big money got into crypto, and now there's probably institutions that are in it, and then there are people that trade with a ton of leverage. So when they get stopped out, the whole thing tanks. So when you see like a Bitcoin dip and it's so violent, it's because people are trading with like 10x leverage, and so when they get stopped out, that's a giant position that goes away. I'm with you. It's kind of frustrating because for a while it was really nice. You could play even like Doge coins, or like I remember when Ethereum was in the three figures. It was like $500, $300. You could buy that and you could double your money really fast. And now it just seems like it's lockstep with the market. Like you can look at SPY and look at Bitcoin, and they're doing the same thing. And yeah, it makes me mad too. And I think that my thesis is that a lot of big money got into it, and you get the same games now that you have with the regular market.
So it's no different. I mean, that really makes it no different. It's like,
yep. And they're pump and dumps. There's small cap coins that people pump, and then all of a sudden the next day they're down to nothing, and you don't know why they were up. It's kind of frustrating.
I don't want to throw around this term loosely, but I feel like I've been defrauded.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
I don't blame you.
Again, like it's not like I'm in crypto like big time or anything, but it's just you hear this message and like this the ethos behind it, and it's like, well, that's just not true. Like you might as well just buy Salesforce; it does the same shit.
Yeah, I know, dude. You might as well just throw your money in SPY, right?
Seriously,
yeah.
Justin, you're really on a soapbox.
Soapbox. I'm sorry. We can go back to White. This isn't about me.
No. I don't. I think this is the first time on the podcast you've been really ticked about something, and I like it.
Passionate.
Level head. You got to keep a level head. But like I told Blaine this morning, I was like, where are the Winklevi's? Why are they not saying anything about what is, maybe they have, about what, like, we were supposed to be safe. You can't tell me, or Chamath, who's like, this is going to take the place of gold. Well, it didn't. It did the exact opposite of what gold would do.
Yeah. It's very frustrating, especially when you have a lot of money tied up into it. There's some people that went all in on crypto because they thought it was this game-changing thing. It was going to be an actual new currency, universal currency, this and that. And now it seems just like another trading vehicle, right?
God, I hope they didn't go in all in at 50 or 52.
How about when I see celebrities tweet about it, and it's at all-time highs, I'm like, are you really buying right here? There's no way you're buying right here, But who knows?
Yeah, that's marketing dollars.
I know that's them selling to you, right?
Yeah. All right, we can get back to White's trading journey. I'm sorry. That's we can steer the ship back.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, but that's where I started with crypto. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and it did real well with them. Looking at line charts and just buying bottoms and somehow market selling tops, I guess. So I started actually trading stocks in winter of 2020. So it's been, and that was full time back in like, I want to say November. I went like full time, and I started with small caps, what I think a lot of people start with. Blaine, I think you like small caps.
We have a love hate.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
yes.
Yeah, you made good money with them at one time, and then probably got
And then it gave
yeah,
it all back.
yeah, exactly. Yep, I did
Yeah.
the same thing. I traded. I was there the first time for the AMC squeeze.
Sure.
I didn't have any GameStop, and I wasn't into options, so I missed out. Like people that had the options, they would go like 10,000% or something crazy. Like they really made money. I didn't.
I lost money on GameStop. Funny enough, it was just moving so fast. And I texted Justin and was like, during the GameStop squeeze, I was like, well, Justin, I've lost some money on GameStop. And he was like, how?
You shorted it. No.
Well, Justin, turns out it's possible.
There's a single pullback, and but yeah, no, I don't like things that trade like that because you feel like you're chasing the whole time, and the first time it ticks against you, you're like, oh, here it comes, I better get out.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah, there's no.
I bought the all-time high at like $100 or something. It pulled back to 90, and I was like, ah!
I'm out.
I mean, something like that.
It's 10%. Yeah, that's not fun.
Then it went to 360. couldn't hold on.
Frustrating. Well,
funny.
I did AMC from 4 to 16, so I didn't get near as much as I should have out of it.
Question: did you get that play from Zach Morris?
No, I didn't know who Zach Morris was until I joined Atlas. I think in I'd have to look. It was after that squeeze though, and everything. I remember, who was it? Someone was telling me about him calling all these other plays. I think the first play I got with him on was he on Sundial, SNDL?
Yep.
Maybe SNDL was what first I ever got with him. So no, actually I didn't know him on that. And I think
he won the PGIR award today, the PGIR yearly awards for best call of the year with AMC.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I took like a TRCH with Hugh Henney. Yeah, that was one of my Atlas plays. That was good, but for small caps, it's tough, right? Because one day they're on fire and they've got liquidity, and the next day there's no volume at all, right? And you're just like, what's going on here? I can't even get out of this position unless I sell for a giant loss. So yeah, I transitioned to options in this last year in the fall. I think September when I switched over to large cap options, and it's been really nice. It's there's always liquidity. There's always big moves. You can get 100% play nearly every single day. You can also take big losses too. I mean, they move fast both ways, right? But yeah, I think I saw you've been playing them too, right?
Mm-hmm. I have. Yeah.
How are you liking them?
I really like them. Today was my first bad day with them out of, I mean, a month. Mm-hmm. Today was my first day that was bad, and it was bad for the same shit I did with small caps. Just sort of like played calls and puts on a stock that wasn't moving.
Oh, so you just get tore up if it trades sideways. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I generally I trade the open like the first 2 hours, then I like to leave and then come back for like the last 2 hours, because the middle of the day usually does that to you, right? Usually that just chops away at your contracts no matter what.
Yeah.
In this close to Friday, I switched to next week expirations just to kind of buy myself a little time.
Yeah. I also did something really stupid today. It was about $1,000 lesson. Justin likes to say we either win or we learn, and this was an expensive lesson, but one that was going to happen, which was I bought puts on RCL when the Hindenburg report came out.
Oh no.
It was really bad.
Look at the chart. I saw the report. Let me look at the chart. I'm actually at my computer so I can see.
So maybe you can kind of help me out with what happened, because I like obviously chased the puts and bought at the bottom, and then there was a huge rebound, and then it like was kind of a slow sell-off. And I guess there's IV, which I don't really know what that means, but basically as soon as the order went through, I was down $1,000.
Oh.
And then I know. And then the stock dropped, right? It kept dropping. And I kept looking at the contracts like, did I buy calls? Did I buy this too far out? Did I and I couldn't find the problem. And then I looked at the chart for the contract, and it just, I guess there was like so much volume that moment that I bought it that it was not going to go back. I don't know. I called Shark to be like, WTF.
Yeah.
And he said it was something with the IV.
Yep. Implied volatility. I stay away from when they do this nasty knife. If anything, I try to catch a call on that, right? And then sell the bounce. I mean, for future reference, I guess, because you see the bounce it made right after the knife.
Oh,
right?
I saw it.
Someone probably, I was going to pull up the option chart while I'm talking to you here because
you're staring at it.
Yeah, someone probably made a ton of money on that bounce.
My money.
Yeah,
probably.
Blaine's money. Yep.
My money. My $1,000.
I'll stop. Okay.
No, it's fine. But the reason I say we either win or we learn is I've been kind of obsessed with Hindenburg for I've been trading 19 months now, and I'm like the short reports, I'm just fascinated by them. And I've always wanted to short a short report, and I've never been able to short. So now that I can do options, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
And now I will never do it again. So expensive lesson learned. Maybe news plays are, not for me with the options.
Were you looking at the options chart when you bought it, not till afterwards? So there's no way for you to see that the premium had just skyrocketed and then come back down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I just bought it and thought this thing's really, I saw it was RCL. I know that stock, obviously, for my love for CCL, and the market was choppy and kind of weak today. And I was like, this is going to plummet. And it didn't.
Yeah. Cruise ships are going to plummet, right? I mean,
yep. Anyway, FML.
Yeah.
You live and you learn. So this podcast is not about me.
No, it's okay. I mean, do you play? Is that your first experience playing any kind of puts then?
No, love puts.
Okay.
Big on puts.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say usually they're great.
Yeah. Yeah. You like spy puts?
I really favor puts a lot.
Same.
And do a lot better.
What does that say about the two of you?
I like puts.
Evil bears, I guess, right?
Well, I also, I played small caps up until December, freaking way longer than a normal person would play them. I should have quit a really long time ago, but I just was playing long, just hoping, and had so much bias on the chart, this will go up, and they just failed
all the time.
Yeah, and I learned what a failing chart looks like. So being able to take puts when a chart is failing is butter.
Oh, that image got burned into your head. I'm the same way. I'm like, it just went under VWAP. Oh, it just went under all these moving averages.
Yep.
Oh, look at those wicks. It's going down.
I love it when it comes up and tests the 20 and just can't hold it.
Yep.
Just absolutely, because when I was going long,
you've been on the other side.
Yes. My stop was a break below the 20. So I know that 20, I love puts. I love them.
Oh yeah. They move so nice too, especially if you're playing SPY and stuff. Yeah, they move.
Yeah,
great.
and then they just get weaker and weaker, and Oh, it's just so lovely.
Just love seeing the blood, huh? Okay.
I
So-
really do.
How long do you think we can go before we actually get White's full trading story?
I know.
Oh.
Why am I so chatty today? It's just because I had a bad day.
Yeah.
We gotta talk it out.
Yeah. Well, no, then so I switched to those large cap options, and that's just what I've been doing. I, like I was saying a second ago, I don't like trading the middle of the day, so I try to do the open and then power hour, and I call the middle of the day like FOMO hours, because you just saw everything run, and you're like, all right, it's going to keep going, but it doesn't. It usually just goes sideways. So yeah. So I don't have like a $1 million account or anything to brag about. So there's that.
Okay, podcast is over.
Yeah, we got to go. No, but I have found pretty consistent success with certain strategies now, and certain opening range breaks on the open, things like that. So it has been nice, especially coming from small caps where you really don't know what to expect. Have you guys ever heard of Bookmap before? It's
No.
it's a visual level 2, and it shows up on like a chart almost. So all your orders show up on it. It's super neat to look at small caps with it, because you can literally see where people are flashing their orders, taking them away. You can see where real buyers are sitting, and then you can also see where like someone with 1 million shares is sitting waiting to sell, So that's been kind of neat. I've been thinking about going back and playing some small caps with that, because that's kind of what it is with those. The volume is mostly created by big money retail. It seems like almost on a lot of those, especially the low floats, right? So it's kind of nice to be able to see where their orders are, because that's where I had a problem, was I think kind of holding through too many spots I should have been selling sooner. I think we've all been there. You hold for more, and you're like, man, I should have sold that right there when I was happy. So
yeah.
It's a pretty neat program. It's free if you have Thinkorswim. It's free to try it. So if you like level 2, I would definitely recommend anyone to try it.
Cool. We will link to that in the show notes.
Yeah, it's neat. I mean, you can get it as a standalone too, but I like it because Thinkorswim has it as an actual widget, so you can use it right there with your platform too.
Very cool. What time frame are you playing on your options?
I'm always on the 5 minute.
Always on the 5.
Yep.
We interviewed 100 to 1 million. That was our most recent interview. He's on the 3.
I don't like it.
On the 3.
Yeah, insane. It's Canadian. What do you expect? No.
He's on the 3. I'm like, what am I missing? And he said it was because the 5 didn't move fast enough for him. I'm like, the 5's moving a little fast for me.
Yeah, I keep the 5 on my main, and then I keep a 15, 30, 1 hour, and 4 hour on, a separate window.
So you're 5 and 15, right, Blaine?
Like the 5 and the 15. Whew, yeah. I was trying to do the 4 hour day. So the stock I got real chopped around in today was Microsoft, which is dead to me now. I will not play that stock anymore. But I kept switching to the 4 hour. The larger the time frames are, the more I'm trying to be like, you're not wrong.
Yeah, you're trying to convince yourself, right? Like, oh, no, it still looks good here on the weekly. The weekly's still going up. So
found myself on the 4 and was like, I'm gonna blow my brains out if I this isn't moving at all. So
no, I you know what? I like it more for if I have a level, like a big daily level, right? I'm like, all right, this is a pretty big daily level. I'm gonna have this over here to remember, if it breaks over this, it's really going, or it could reject, or it could sit here sideways all day.
Well, that's what, so I had a level that was very important, and, Microsoft has been sort of just dumping and is in no man's land now on the daily. Yeah. And it was just over and under this level all day, just up and down, up and down, up and down. And I just couldn't leave it alone.
Looks like it tried to fill that gap they had on the daily too, huh? Just about, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Tech is getting slaughtered.
Lucid's my favorite stock. And if I had just played Lucid today, I would have had a great day.
I got hammered by Lucid this morning.
Were you buying calls this morning?
No. I took a put right off the open, and then it had a big old green hammer after. I was like, oh, stopping out. And then it died. I was like, come on. Because it broke a level I had charted and everything. I was like, all right, so under here, we're good for puts. And then bam, just exploded up. And then it finally, I've come to notice lately that if they do that, if they kind of pierce that level and reject, if they come back to it again, it's usually a nice shot of it actually working out. But sometimes I get frustrated. I'm like, get this chart out of my face, and then I look at something else. And then I go back to look and I'm like, why didn't I just keep that one up? But yeah, Lucid was nice. It was a nice sell-off. And then that bounce was insane too on it.
Insane.
Yeah.
And Lucid just loves to get real squeezy. Once it kind of starts squeezing, it really loves it. So anyway, it's my favorite stock. Took the place of CCL.
Irrational exuberance?
When it comes to killer wine at drastically low prices,
30 to 70% off retail and free shipping.
We live for that here at Last Bottle Wines. Whether you went long or short on GameStop, you'll need a glass of something terrifically tasty.
And we've got the goods.
Last Bottle is a daily wine site based in Napa, California.
One wine every day.
At Black Swan event prices.
Usually 30 to 70% off.
Until poof, it's gone. Whether you're a pound-the-table type,
think ultra-crisp, quaffable Sauvignon Blanc,
or a Dividend aristocrat,
Burgundy, or Napa Cab,
there simply is no better place to buy wine on the web.
And they always have free shipping.
Last Bottle has a deal just for Penny Lane listeners. Use promo code PENNY,
that's PENNY,
to save 10% off your next order with Last Bottle.
The code is good for one order and one order only, and it expires March 11th, 2022.
So head over to lastbottlewines.com today. That's lastbottlewines.com.
I see you haven't said anything about SREV since back last summer, but you said a lot about it, and I want to get into the mind of White Goodman. So explain the SREV thesis and what your play was here, because it seems like there was a high level of conviction, and I'm going to hopefully guess success.
SREV.
So you don't remember?
No, I'm looking at the chart right now, though. Hold on.
Sorry. Justin.
Service Source International, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Okay.
You had quite a few things here about it, and it just felt like something that must have been like a year maker, perhaps? Maybe not.
Yeah. This was a pretty good one. Yeah. I think at the time, I didn't have probably very many followers, so I think I was just kind of putting it out there over and over as do you know the dates on the tweet?
Yeah, it started it's all in June pretty much.
Okay,
June,
yep.
July.
Yep. So that was right here before this. Yeah, what a run it made. Yep. I don't even remember the sticker, but yeah, this is it had to be that. Look at that. End of June, it was down $1.20, it went up 50%. Yeah, that was a nice one.
And you're trading options there, is that right?
Not on this. This would have been in the summer. I was just still taking commons on small caps. So that was a nice play. I think I have to go back to my my P&L on it and see what I did on it. But yeah, I think that was a real nice play. Caught it at the right time.
Here's what I find really interesting about it is that you have a lot of good data here, right? Like the current financial analysis is, or at the time, no debt, 200 million in revenue, however, only 130 million in market cap, insider buying. Then you also posted a bearish summary written about the company as if that was just more confluence. You see what I did there, Blaine?
Yeah.
More confluence for your thesis that this thing is going to bump.
Always. So anytime I see stuff like that, I'm like, okay, someone's trying to take a short position, but this is almost always blows up in their face, right?
So let's talk about that because that's interesting.
Yeah. So like, what was the other one that, unfortunately it didn't happen with Wish. I know a lot of people were thinking it was going to squeeze like crazy. It ran a little, but like some of those small caps that get the hit reports on it seems like, they do get beaten down quite a bit, but when they finally squeeze, it's just so insane, right? Like, and you have to find one that actually has cash. Like that one, if it had money on hand, you don't have to worry about an offering happening right away when it pumps, right? So I think that's kind of the biggest fear for a lot of the small caps is it has one big green day and you're like, oh, they're going to drop an offering. I better get out, right? Instead, this thing, like, like when AMC squeezed, a lot of them, although that's not technically a small cap, but
Right.
when they can keep going because there's no fear of offering, they have money.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, we're good,
So
like,
I have a question though for you. It's kind of a devil's advocate question, because if this is a small cap, then borrowing to short this is not that easy. So somebody can't have that large of a position, right? And if they don't have something worth a significant amount, these companies that are posting these bearish reports, I mean, so your thesis is that they're going to take a short here, but how much money can they really be making to put the time and effort into this analyst report on a small cap that is just, I mean, pretty much not a lot of brokers, I don't think, are going to lend a high volume here to short this, right? Or am I wrong?
No, that's true too. A lot of times I also wonder if more psychology, right? What if they're putting this report out because they want it for cheap? I don't want to sound like put my tinfoil hat on, but what if they're saying, hey, yeah, this company's garbage, this and that, I wouldn't touch them. And then while everybody's selling off, they're buying for cheap, right? That's probably what a lot of institutions do. A lot of these downgraded price targets, things like that.
It's a competitive market. So
yeah,
this is not the first time you've done this, obviously, then. So when you see this is a nice indicator for you. But are you still doing this because you're trading commons and not options?
Yeah. So with options, I've only been day trading. This obviously was a swing here. So I haven't used it as much.
Yeah.
But I do like, when they put out smear reports on Tesla, because we see that never ends well for them, right?
No,
so I do keep,
not once.
Yeah. So I do keep track of that still. I like it. I like the volatility it creates. I like that it gets shorts in, or it gets whatever politician or big company wants to load up calls, gets them their calls for cheap or whatever it does. So no, I definitely still watch out for stuff like that. I'm very much a news trader. I used to I'd get up at like 4 a.m. for small caps and I just wait for the random PRs to pop, and then I'd trade those.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to that more. Just with large caps, you have to sit around and watch the news all day, and sometimes that's depressing.
Back to the roots, back to simpler times, right?
Yeah, because sometimes, like I was saying, the more you learn about technical analysis and everything, the more it fakes you out, right? When you start second guessing yourself and questioning things instead of just kind of letting the trade work.
Yeah. So you mentioned that was when you were up early, you were watching the news, you were on the ticker tapes. What does your trading day look like now when you're focused on options?
Oh, so now it's nice. I still get up about 5:30 every morning. I like to stretch, do mobility. I think this is good for everybody to do, actually.
Well, you do own a gym, so
yeah.
Can you tell us where you're from?
I'm from Illinois, Northern Illinois.
Fantastic. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So,
but not Chicago.
No, I'm about 2 hours west of Chicago, so not quite.
Heading towards South Dakota.
Ish. Iowa's right next door.
Minnesota. No, it's Iowa, Minnesota, whatever. I've been up there before,
I like your accent so much. So I was
the
trying
Midwest
to,
one.
Yeah.
Not quite Canadian, but close.
Right.
Yeah.
But I thought it was Canadian when we first started. And then I thought maybe it was more Midwestern. So anyway.
Yep. No.
Glad to know.
Yeah. So we do the get up. I do that. I'll make coffee and then I'll look at the charts and see what gapped up and gapped down. I don't ever look at futures. I don't know if you guys look at futures or waste of time because I don't care what futures are doing the night before.
Justin does. Justin loves a future.
Okay. Well, if you trade them, that's cool. But for me, like when someone tells me at 8:00 at night that, futures are green, I'm like, just get back to me in the morning, because it changes so much, right? So I don't do that, but I get up really early. 5:30 here would be 6:30 market time. So I do that, some mobility, drink some coffee, listen to some music. Kind of like
Is this a
meditation
Saturday?
type. I know, right? I know, right? Oh, dude, just take it easy all the time. Then I go and I go in Discord and check on notifications. I generally try not to be in there after hours because I spend so much time there during the day.
In which Discord are you mostly in during the day?
Usually GMT, and then
Okay.
I still drop in Nate's Discord too.
And that's how you and I met, right?
Yep, through Nate, I think.
Cool.
Yep.
I think that's right as well. Just want to make sure.
Yep. And then Rodessa, I still I go to his every once in a while too. I'm all over the place, but yeah, a lot of good info all over. So I kind of like to have my feelers everywhere. And then I look through like Bloomberg News on Twitter, because that, if you don't follow Walter Bloomberg on Twitter, you should, because he's really good on the news.
Really good.
Yeah. And I look for share buybacks are big. I look for price target upgrades, and, all the news plays kind of go up to the top of my list for that day.
So I haven't heard the term watch list yet.
Oh, I have a nice size watch list.
Okay. All right. What, you may not use one at all. I don't know. That's
There's probably 50 or 60 on there, but then I only narrow it down to 8 every morning. I have
Okay.
in the corner of my screen, I'll have one window open with 8 charts, and those are my main for the day.
Do you have favorites like SPY or QQQ or anything that every day is on the watch list?
Yeah, AMD is on pretty much every day. Tesla is on every single day. Disney I've been liking a lot more lately.
Ooh,
So
I like that.
yeah, and Pfizer, PFE has been on a lot lately too. Because the
Where
thing
is Pfizer today?
about
I was playing calls with that when it was like around 60. I haven't looked at it.
54.90.
Nice.
So I like Pfizer because the contracts are super liquid. They get 5,000 or more volume, and they're cheap. So you can scale heavy or light, however you want to trade it, right? Like Tesla, I don't go with size on Tesla because it's so expensive. I don't like having too much exposure out there on one trade. But I love like Pfizer. I love DraftKings, Disney, just because their contracts are cheap and liquid and they move nice. To get 100% is so easy on one of those. They move just really nice.
If you were going to pick a stock that represented your personality, which stock would it be?
what a question.
I say Tesla because that's the one I probably have the most trades on. But man, Tesla's pretty violent. I'm not really violent, but Tesla's strong though. I guess I work out and I'm strong. Maybe Tesla.
Okay,
Probably.
I like that.
Do you have an answer?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's a hard question. I'm sorry, I just threw it out there. I'll have to get back.
See, I'm resilient too, and Tesla's resilient to shorts and to being beaten down. So, I'm not a small cap by any means. I don't, I don't just roll around in the dirt in a continuous downtrend.
Man.
Yeah, that's a hard.
It's a tough question, right?
Yeah.
What about you guys? Either one of you?
Yeah, Justin, what about you?
Futures?
I don't know. I want to say it's definitely not crypto. I'm not a 24/7 kind of guy.
No,
we're off the crypto. We're off the crypto.
Yeah, not a 24/7 guy. I'd say that I don't have a lot of activity and volume, pre-market or after hours. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
got to be a large cap then. Yep.
It's got to be a large cap for sure. But I'd say, I got a lot of highs and lows throughout the day, right? I mean, we're something with some high beta, but also can be pretty sympathetic towards other people. So I need something that moves in tandem with other stocks. So you find me that one. That's me.
Probably SPY. SPY moves a lot. It moves with other things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe that is me.
SPY or QQQ. Yep.
Those seem too easy, though. You need to
What about-
start that trend on Twitter, both of you. Is like,
What about
hey,
Vicks?
I'm
be
not
Vicks.
bipolar.
No, I'm
but-
kidding.
I think I might go. I think I might go with my old, tried and true CCL.
CCL.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm dependable. I'm
Mhm.
there every day.
Mhm.
I'm putting in the work.
You float.
Yeah.
Float.
I'm not quitting. Like, I feel like I've been super beat down. You know, poor CCL got hit by a pandemic. They're still trying.
They're willing
They're
to
still
give.
afloat.
Mhm.
Yep, life's still a party
Um,
for them too.
Yeah. Get that.
I think that's, you know, I wish that I was something like really super strong. Like Ford would be a great stock.
Oh yeah,
Are-
Ford's a
are you-
tank.
Yeah.
Seasonality, is that a thing for you? Is that a trait? Do you feel like you ebb and flow with seasons like CCL?
Sure. I certainly have the seasonal, the sad
The sad.
for
Okay.
sure.
Got
I
it.
have. And then during the summer, I'm a little bit checked out. So yeah.
Huh. And that's a new segment.
Yes. Yes.
That's funny. Yeah, CCL, that's a good
right.
one. I like the
Yeah.
airlines and the cruise lines. I really thought like leaps on them would be kind of nice, you know. They're due. They've been beaten
They are
down for so
due.
long.
They have been. You know what? Here's a question. Where is American Airlines right now?
AAL, yeah, another one. I love that one.
Where is that one moves a lot.
1850? Their contracts move nice too.
They're at 1850.
Yeah.
That is gone nowhere in 1 year. I think it's gone down, actually. Let me see.
Yep.
You
Since-
sold at 19, Justin.
Yeah, but it went to 23 for like a hot sec.
We were
Mhm.
lucky
Even
to get out of
26
that,
it looks
though.
like.
So
It went to 26 back in June. That stock has done nothing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
They
tough.
have
It-
been beaten
It
down.
chops.
I remember when I was in it, Blaine, because I used to justify this. I know you like to do this. Justify the position you're in. And my justification was the loyalty program that American Airlines owns is larger than their market cap. Therefore, it should go up. Even if you piece that off for pennies on the dollar, it still should have been higher. So that was my thought process. I was wrong. I was really wrong.
well, my thought
Terribly
process,
wrong.
as you know, for CCL being bullish in general, is that people love to cruise.
But that's proven true.
Argument closed. That's
No, they
all
love
you
it.
need to know.
They
Yeah.
love it.
Get a person on a cruise boat.
Do you?
Good to
Okay.
go.
Here's a question. Name another vacation experience that you book 2 years in advance. People book
Disney.
cruises 2
Disney.
years in.
Ooh.
That is one, and
DIS,
people.
Disney. Here we go.
That's about it, though.
Another good
Like,
ticker. No.
You can't even book flights 2 years in advance, much less a boat. So I mean, it's
Sure.
crazy. People 2 years are like, yeah, I'm going on a cruise in 2024. I gotta hit the gym.
Start now. That's funny. Yeah, Ford has been a tank lately. He brought that up.
Totally. And I
That's-
love Ford is a good company, like a forward thinking company.
Mhm.
You know, not
Well, yeah.
authority.
I remember when all the automakers were getting the bailouts, they were the only one who didn't need it out of the big three, years ago.
Mm.
And I look at them like, man, I cannot believe they were, $20 stock still. When I look at GM and others,
Yep. And you that re-release of the Bronco, brilliant.
Oh yeah, yeah, I want one.
Yeah, that
Me
works.
too. So bad.
So, White, are you? I think I missed this. Are you a full-time trader now?
Yep. I do this full time. I had a vacation rental business, and I just sold the home there about a year ago now because the housing market's been insane. We had a chance to practically double the money on the property, so it was like, dude, it's a no brainer. At this rate. So with the money we made on the sale of that, I could take this full time. I could do this for probably the next 5 years and not make a penny and still be fine. So that's why we took the leap and said, just do this full time and take on some clients here and there at the gym. And that's it,
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
So, have you ever considered flipping real estate contracts? Because those are options.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Actually, speaking of real estate, I'm in the process of getting my license to be an agent too.
Ooh.
Just because
Fantastic.
it's a flexible career too, right?
Yeah.
And since I had the experience with the Airbnb vacation rental, it's like this is just another tool to have in the belt. Speaking of, I guess this is more for hotels, I guess, but real estate. If you guys like dividend companies, I do like some REITs for that. Do you guys ever throw any I don't know, hold any long-term dividend stocks or anything like that, or no, just
Probably
trade?
should.
Probably
Yeah.
should.
There are a
Yeah.
few that I
Hit us with
have
them.
that just they pay a nice dividend and they're cheap, and you can look into them. ORC is one.
Okay.
I think it's 7 cents a share, but that's monthly. Most pay that quarterly, so
I
that's
bleep that so we don't tell anyone else
yeah. I
besides
know,
Wayne and I.
I know, right?
That
I
just
like them.
hopped in. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, because they're like $4 a share, and it's 20 cents a share every quarter. So
Wow.
every year you're getting, 5% or more on your, or what would
That's
that be?
just free
80
stocks.
cents. Yeah, exactly. No, that's 20%, right? Because at the end of the year, it'd be 80 cents per your $4 investment. So yeah. And, I had IVR for a while back when that was the Zach Morris swing. And that's another one that paid nice dividends. So yeah, there are a few that I like for that. I just wanted to get that out there before I forget. Everyone I know, I tell, I'm like, yeah, you should at least throw some money in these if you like dividends. So
I'm
Well,
assuming
thank
those
you.
REITs have done pretty well over the past 2.5 years, huh?
yeah, they do fine. I mean, they dipped with the COVID crash, and then recovered just fine.
But with the real estate boom, they should have
Oh my
taken back
gosh.
off much faster than the rest.
Yeah. I think that one in particular dipped down to like $1.50 a share then, and now it's in the fours. So
Yeah. Wow. Man.
yeah.
And I'm assuming those don't have much volume on them, right?
No, they trade
Yeah.
like a barcode kind of,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like when you look at like SNDL when it's not trending and it just barcodes all day,
Yeah.
it kind of looks like that. But
That's fair.
yeah. But yeah, sorry, back to the real estate thing. Yeah, I think that's great for anybody who has extra cash around and the free time to invest in real estate or sell properties, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Flip
Well,
them.
I
Also,
just meant
with
the options contract thing. Is
Oh,
kind of the
just the
same
contract. I'm
concept.
sorry. I went off on the tangent into buying and
No.
selling homes.
No, it's fine. I just
That
meant
too,
like
though.
you could flip those contracts, which is the exact same concept as what you're doing in the market.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just options. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Blaine.
There's like multi levels of making money, right? Yeah.
But doing the same thing.
that's
Yeah.
the dream.
Exactly. Yep. I enjoy that. I had some fun experiences with owning the vacation rental that some of them I won't miss. So
So speaking of rental houses, White, I think you'll appreciate this. So we were in Green Bay, Wisconsin, very cold place. Number one, we'll never go again. Went to a Green Bay game, had an amazing time. We indulged in some adult beverages, of course, as you do at a football game. It was very cold. It was very snowy. It was November. We were in a very small house, and this house is definitely not someone's home. It is used as an Airbnb property. That's it. Not that we did any damage or anything bad to it, but you could just tell that that's what it was. And about midnight after the game, we were at the house, and I said, I got to pee. And there was someone in the bathroom. And I went outside, and I peed in the snow, in the bushes. And I am in the middle of doing this, and I look up at the house, and there's a camera staring at me in the face.
oh no.
Looked at it, and I just said, I am so sorry. And then I walked away. And the owner left a review of my friend who had booked the house, and he gave him 5 stars, and he said, great guests, enjoyed having them. They even managed to water the plants.
They have a sense of humor. That's good.
That was it. So I think you have to if you're in that business. I'm assuming you've seen quite a bit renting
yeah.
people. So
yeah, you have to. You just have to roll with whatever punches come at you in that business for sure. But that's hilarious.
yeah, it was a good time. So, but anyway, back to trading. So
So, White, who would you say on FinTwit has had the biggest impact on your trading?
Um, I'd probably have to put 3 people out there. I don't know if that's too many.
That works. That works.
Okay. I would say Rodessa was one. Really helped me with my transition to small to large cap options. Not so much on the options contracts or Greeks and all that, but just with principles and trading rules that have really stuck with me. Yeah, he's been big. Fearless, he's the guy who runs GMT's Discord, the main guy. Took me in there and then made me a executive or moderator for the Discord, and it's really grown, since I joined. And then there's another shout out to ECAP, which is another guy I trade with who doesn't have a very big following, surprisingly. But you might see me tweet once in a while that ECAP don't miss. It's like an inside joke that we have, because there's literally anything he calls out, just buy it. Like I don't understand how he sees it or what he's seeing half the time. I'm like, I don't know what you like here, but okay, I'll watch, and then
Yeah.
30 minutes later, he's talking about how it's, it just went 100% or, 500%. I think he had like a 2000% on SPX yesterday or something. It's like the dude's just insanely good. So it's been an influence on me too, more for the mental part, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when you get into a trade with options, you're immediately red, right? I mean, you never get the perfect fill on your call or your put. And he kind of helped me to hold through some of that stuff as long as your thesis holds up, right? So yeah, I would say those 3 really did the most, but there's so many because, Nate really helped with a lot of, inside bar plays and things like that. It's just so many. Mr. Roboto with supply and demand. A lot. I like that I got to draw from so many different people.
That's awesome. Rodessa I'm interviewing him tomorrow. Just me and Rodessa.
Oh, you got to tell him.
Not wait.
You tell him I was on today. He'll crack up.
Oh, I for sure will. We've actually had, I've interviewed Rodessa before, and there was a little hiccup. So we did not release the episode. So this will be our second interview, but our first release. Ooh. And Rodessa and I have a little thing on Twitter going with music. It's one of my favorite parts of trading is what Rodessa is listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's funny. Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Good dude. Great. Always willing to help out too. He has that mentorship that he does, but man, he spreads himself thin. I mean, he is there. I mean, just like Nate, he's answering every question, all hours of the day, night, whatever. It's like, man, I'm really surprised at how dedicated he is to it. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure. And Nate's incredible too. I mean, what a
he puts in so much work.
And I truly believe he wants to help people. Like that 100%. That drives him, and it's incredible. He's incredible.
Yeah, both of them. I mean,
service.
It's so easy to, just say, hey, I'm going to open this Discord. I'm going to give some calls. But like, there's so much more to it that those guys do. They go above and beyond. I mean, anybody that pays gets their money's worth for sure.
But imagine the time spent too, right? It's like you have a hard enough time. You don't have enough time for yourself doing your own DD and charting and stuff, right? And then imagine doing that for educational purposes as well. I mean, that's quite an incredible thing to do. So
you have to imagine how many times they answer the same question too.
Oh my gosh, I know. I had a one-on-one mentoring session with Nate this week, and he was just so kind. And I didn't even know a question to ask. I just was like, I'm struggling, which is my main thing. Well, Yeah. White, this has been delightful. We need to wrap up in just a second, and I would love to know what piece of advice you would give to brand new traders.
I would say don't chase call outs. That would be the biggest
Perfect.
one.
Yeah.
Because it starts off with a price target that is very unreasonable usually, and then it turns into you should have traded your plan, and then the whole time you're kind of mad. I would try your absolute best to only trade ideas that you come up with, and it's insane the growth you get when you start doing that.
Very
100%.
cool. Very cool. All right. Well, this was absolutely lovely. And what a great way to really start off season 3. And I hope you'll come back in the future. Love to talk to you again.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. It's
Thanks,
our
White.
pleasure.
Go hit
All
the
right.
gym.
I will.
Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying Last Bottle of Wines, our latest sponsor. Justin has been enjoying it. He's texting me every other day that he's bought this bottle, he's bought this bottle. He's building a whole collection to impress his friends, and he's getting them all for a steep discount. With Valentine's Day coming up, you probably want to get a nice bottle of wine to present to your significant other. I suggest hopping right on the Last Bottle Wine apps, picking the perfect bottle, and, being on top of it, getting it before Valentine's Day. That's how the smart people do it. As always, use code PENNY for one-time 10% off, valid through March 11th. I hope you guys kill it for Valentine's Day. Talk to you soon. Thank you to our producer Joel Edwards and Chesley Lowe for the banjo music. Please like, subscribe, and share this on social media. We appreciate you guys.
By accessing this podcast, you acknowledge that the Penny Lane podcast makes no warranty, guarantee, or representation as to the accuracy or sufficiency of the information featured in this podcast. The information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only, and any reliance on the information provided in this podcast is done at your own risk. This podcast should not be considered professional or financial advice. Unless specifically stated otherwise, the Penny Lane podcast does not endorse, approve, recommend, or certify any information, product, process, service, or organization presented or mentioned in this podcast, and information from this podcast should not be referenced in any way to imply such approval or endorsement. The third-party materials or content of any third-party site referenced in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the opinions, standards, or policies of the Penny Lane podcast. The Penny Lane podcast assumes no responsibility or liability for the accuracy or completeness of the content contained in third-party materials or on third-party sites referenced in this podcast, or the compliance with applicable laws of such materials and/or links referenced herein.